for the fame?
Nah, I ain't doing it for the fame.
Nick,
Hey, what's up?
aren't you doing it for the likes?
Nah, I ain't doing it for the likes.
Oh, okay. Hold up. So you doing it for the pussy?
Nah, I mean, yeah, no, I ain't doing it for that.
Okay, then. What are you doing it for?
Man, I do it for the culture.
The culture?
The culture. Okay, yeah. It does got to be that way because it's a savage competitive sport, and there is no like politics play a part in the game in almost every business or whatever like that.
Course, yeah.
But usually there's a system in place that sort of like is a universal okay with you elevating and doing this. But with stand up, niggas can leapfrog niggas in like a heartbeat, and then
That's because everybody want to be the front runner.
well, it's not even about front runner. It's just like somebody who with the power can put somebody in position to be successful and wave like some in a way wave a wand for them, and they'll start to get opportunities and achievements that people who've been grinding 10, 15, 20 years will never see. And then those comics who like get that quick come up sometimes act like they shit is hot, and it's not really like that. But because people are like throwing all this stuff at you and this power and this cloud at you, they get full of themselves. But in the aspect of just you go on stage and do your thing for this amount of time, and then I go, you're gonna get outshined. But like this other shit that you get to do, the TV films or whatever like that, or your popular social media following doesn't entitle you to treat other people in a certain way.
That's true.
So you have to like. It does become into a catty, it is backstabbing. Some people backstab each other, but like you do have to like speak your piece about people, but everybody sometimes feels afraid to share their opinions because they're afraid like, oh, this might hurt my career, whatever like that. But niggas who comfortable in their skin and just only care about the real blade in this shit, which is just that stage in the set, they're not afraid to like say about nigga, like you ain't shit, like you ain't funny enough to be like talking to people like that. Because people do get full of themselves when all the smoke is blown up their ass. So, you know, and it's like stand-up is the truest form of somebody getting told like what the audience thinks because it's live. Right. There's no tape. It's edit. It's instant. So it's
how
like
it's not.
A movie could be subjective. I mean, stand-up can be subjective as well, but you can still hear a crowd. You can still hear a crowd's reaction to somebody and determine whether or not this person was funnier or better than this person. Because if you're on the same show, if you have different fan bases and different crowds, then I can kind of say, well, yeah, all right, well, you can't say that because then this person only really does like Midwestern or white or older folks.
Right.
He performs in front of just young niggas, so it really is hard to compare who's better. But I believe if you're on the same bill, on the same lineup that night, you can definitely be compared. You know what I'm saying? That's the only really time you'll get to see, okay, this is where I stand out with such and such, which is why like when, you know, the Kings of Comedy or whoever groups of comics tour together, they sort of have like a friendly competitive spirit because everybody's doing a hot 15, hot 25
But they're not
minutes.
chopping each other though.
Chopping each other, which way do you?
They're not chopping each other at the knees.
At the knees, no.
They might be a little bit intimidated, but they're not chopping each other at the knees.
No,
you know what
I
I'm
don't.
saying?
Yeah, they're not gonna chop
And
each other.
like
As far
those
as
the people
money.
you brought up, they still doing it, and they still
Right,
kick it,
they
and they
still
still
do it.
tour with each other.
They still tour,
You know what I'm
so-
saying? Like, it's interesting when I see like.
Oh, by the way, this is for the culture, man. I like to just talk a little shit before we get into
For
the
the
intros.
culture.
I'm your host, Nick Alexander. You know, all things Nick of Comedy. Today I got one of my boys, comedian, actor, spiritual leader, Dior Allen.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna call you a spiritual leader to your
living in my
credits,
truth.
man. Living in that truth.
Living in my truth.
Thanks for rocking with me today, bro. Paul's gonna talk some shit with us too, because we're gonna get into some comedy discussions.
Yo, what up?
All right.
Shout out to Paul for the disclaimer early on.
Yeah, Paul let us know he was eating ass and got pink eye, so
He like,
you
don't
gotta
touch
take it
it,
easy.
bro. It was a wild night.
what was the joke you had, Paul?
I said instead of eating ass, I was looking into it like I was looking for Narnia, bro.
And then he saw the ring. The ring.
But thanks for coming through. Well, not coming through, but thanks for rocking with us today.
Yeah, man.
So we get back into like just how competitive stand-up comedy is, even though people try to.
Hold on, let me clarify. I'm not a stand-up comic.
Dior's, yeah.
I'm a sketch and improviser. I'm a
Sketch
comic
improviser.
in that on that platform.
Right.
I
Yes.
did stand up for 3 years, but I feel like you gotta love it to do it. For real, for real.
And
I love improv and sketch.
Right. And I even respect that where it's like, okay, I did this, I tried this. This is what I really love to do. I like it, but I don't love it. Cause
Yeah.
if you don't love it,
You
stand
can be
up
good
will
at
eat
it
you
though.
out. You
Don't
can
get
be
me wrong.
good. Yeah.
I got a standing ovation one time, dog. Like and like Mount Vernon. What's the comic that drinks their beer? He go,
Talent.
Talent, yo. One
Shout out
time,
to Talent.
shout out to Talent, man. He really put me to the test one time. I was rocking with Jay Alexander, which is my homie.
That's the homie. Yeah,
That's the
Jay
homie.
Alexander. Funny
He
comment.
showed me the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Took me to Mount Vernon one night. And you know, when you're a young comic, you kind of asking, can I get 2-3 minutes? Because all I had was really 2-3 minutes. I had 3 jokes.
Right.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like, yeah, sure.
Talent will definitely be like, yeah, come on.
Yeah. So a comic goes, and it's a full night too, and all old heads too. But it's a full room. A comic goes up, another comic goes up, 3 comic goes up. Like the opener, like the head guy goes. I'm like, oh, he just blew me off. Oh, he forgot about me. Talent goes on, does his thing for like 30 minutes. All right, guys.
Talent would definitely do that shit.
All right, guys. I got a young buck. He say he funny. He say he funny. And I had this like, I didn't know it was festive at the time.
drilled all over
I
the
had this
microphone.
sweater that was real colorful. It was my confidence sweater.
Oh boy, he ripped that shit.
He got a very festive sweater going on over here, looking like so and so coming to the stage. He about to close the show for y'all. I've been doing comedy for like 7 months at that time. I was
Oh
like,
my
nigga,
God, why did Talent do that? He never did that to me.
Yo,
Shit.
and Jay Alexander's right beside me. He's
God
like-
damn, nigga.
He's like, come on, nigga, do
A
it.
whole
Fuck it."
show plus Talent doing an extra 30 after everybody else and then putting you on?
Yo, and I used to look at my phone before I went on to look up what I want to talk about.
Of course. New shit.
And I just said, man, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Whatever come.
He
whatever-
tested your manhood. Your manhood.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about
And I
stand up.
needed that, though.
Yeah. It just gave you that fuck. I gotta go for mine.
Yeah, and this is New York. This isn't LA.
This is
New
New
York.
York.
Like, yo, when niggas throw chicken bones at you if you're not funny,
Right.
like
Niggas don't give
or
a fuck
key you
what you
or-
been on, what you done.
they don't care.
Yeah, if you whack that night, you getting it.
They don't care about your co-star or your one-liner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I just remember saying, "Fuck it." He's passing me the mic like this, and he's like, "Yeah, nigga."
He said that to you?
And quietly, without them, like, "Yeah, nigga." Because
Wow.
I think I respect him because he wanted new comics to show respect.
Right. Were you
For that-
disrespectful that night?
No. But like, if you a comic, really be a comic. Like, do the work.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then like, I killed it.
Yeah,
I killed it. I was like, fuck it, nigga,
Fuck
let's
it,
go.
let's go.
And I killed it. I got a stand ovation.
Wow. How much time you did?
I did like 15 minutes, bro.
You just stayed on in 15 and just rocked.
And I never riffed with the crowd before.
Wow. Okay.
I started riffing because somebody was combating me. I was like, bitch,
You just start
going back and
snapping,
forth.
yeah.
And I made old, young, black, white, everybody just laugh.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, thank you. And I felt so fulfilled. He's like, yeah, nigga, that's how you do it. Yeah, y'all. And then he went back to his thing. And I remember walking off like, I needed that. I just needed that, like, fuck my phone, fuck what I thought was being thought. What I just went into like, you know,
a kill mode. And I give props to Talent with that. And a lot of veterans in the urban circuit for the I only want to talk about the positive shit with this part. The blade sharpened blades element that like you feel as a black man walking through America.
Yeah.
That's what they instill in you.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do stand up, because even though stand up should not have to be that fucking hard in terms of like the environments, the setup, just to get niggas to rock with you.
Yeah. Oh.
You do need that fucking that cold, just that no love, just take it, go find it, get your swagger right, be strong, be fearless, because after you can survive and endure an environment like that, everything else is like, this is nothing. Like when you done battled and scratched and clawed in some of these rooms where it's just like, it's just not set it up at all for you to win as a stand-up comic.
Yeah, for sure.
Everywhere else just feels like nothing. Like this LA shit, that's why I understand why they'll feel like LA makes you soft, because people just kind of like laugh anyway.
does.
They get passive, it's relaxed, or they just give it up too easy. It's like when you fucking a chick and she starts screaming like, "Bitch, I just got the head in. Like I ain't even put the whole thing in." Like
right.
that's what it was like when you doing the burl, because you've been squashing and clapping and you just not raping the chick, but you just
with
fighting
consent,
with consent, of course.
With consent.
Just
Consensual struggles.
Consensual struggles. Consensual struggles.
That's a movie. Write it down.
But like the talents, the Mark Vieiras, the Staple Capone, the positive you take away is that they'll just make you so strong, make you so fearless. Just want to just instill a tough mentality in you, so that you just won't be a scared comic. Like you just won't feel.
And I was before.
Hesitant. Well, yeah, we all were. Like. I mean, I never talent never did that to me. What he did to you, like put you through a whole show, then to put you up at the end.
Close that shit.
Enough niggas was kind of like, yo, this a kid, he from Queens. Yo, can you give him some time? Because I think the first time I performed with talent was at what was the spot in fucking Queens? It was like on Linden, not Linden. Shit. What the fuck? They closed it down. It was with Tribe Called Quest and all them used to hang out at.
Yeah.
Goddamn, I did that room so many fucking times.
I know what you're talking about.
Damn, it's not Linden. It's not the diner. It's in Queens.
I know what you're talking about. It's like past Francis Lewis and Linden.
Francis Lewis and it's right on that corner.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's a legendary spot.
That's a staple in the community.
It was. They closed it down.
It's a staple. I didn't even know that. Damn,
I can't remember the shit. Talon's gonna kill me for not remembering, because that's where he put me. That was the first time I got to perform with Talon and kick it with him.
Yo, shout out to you though, bro. I remember meeting you in New York, man.
We met at Essence.
Was that in Brooklyn?
R.I.P. Damon Rozier. The first time I met you and Jay, we was doing stand up in Brooklyn. At
bro.
Essence Bar.
And it was a long way, but I just remember like just you like.
Yeah. And I was like 19, 20. I was like super like fucking.
Nah, nigga,
super young.
Nigga, I ain't I'm about to say I just remember you had this thing in your eye, like you just wanted it so bad, bro. Like I feel like you was like so hungry. Shout out to you and Corey Fernandez.
Right.
Like y'all just wanted it so bad, and Corey gave me my first book, like yo, the Bible, Comedy Bible.
I read that.
He's like, yo, just do this, bro, and you be fine. Like, and then he just saw me, and then I just saw you guys, and like, but Jay Alexander kind of like helped me.
Nah, Jay was always good people. It's like, Jay was from Detroit. It's so funny watching the transformation of Jay, like as a comic physically, and then like he just got in super buff shape out of nowhere, and like I was like, damn, this nigga Jay done became a supermodel. Pause.
Right. He knew he was going to California.
Yeah, he knew he had his mindset in L.A. Let me ask you this: so like you say you were doing it a couple years. Like I remember seeing you around in the grind, and then what made you say, stand up is not my path?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Sketch and improv, I really fuck with. This is what I think I want to do, and then this is where I want to move from New York and go to LA.
This is gonna take a little bit to explain.
We got time.
I remember being in Harlem at this open mic. No, like Smokey used to host a spot in Harlem.
You talking about Mochas?
Yes, Mochas.
Yeah, that's still around, I believe.
And I saw comics that I grew up on BET that were just killers. That was like, yo, they shutting down shows.
I just remember the spot. Shout outs to Manhattan Proper.
In Queens.
In Queens, yeah.
Caribbean food and everything. Mm-hmm. Yes, Manhattan Proper. Wow.
Manhattan Proper. Shout outs to the Manhattan Proper. Yo.
I saw Tommy Davidson for the first time in there. Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah, if we right. Yeah, Manhattan Proper.
Okay, so
it was like the Carolines of Queens.
It was the Carolines of Queens.
Word.
Hell fucking yeah, because they had a nice stage. You could get like a packed crowd setting. It definitely, they created a comedy club sort of vibe in that room.
Facts.
And I did at least like 10 to 12 shows there because Talent hosted it. Yeah, Drew hosted it. Mochas, I did the Mocha rounds. I did the, Cafe Lou's and the Brooklyns, all the Rip Michaels and Drew Frazier. Yeah, I was hitting the hard. I hit both circuits really, really hard.
Yeah, you grinded. And you were writing too, and shooting little stuff too.
Yeah. People just like to use me in skits. And, I still work with some of them to this day, like Del Harrison. I've probably done so many like different things where Del used me or I used Del. Like she's just like my actor sketch buddy or whatever. We just always like working together and something.
She believed in your shit.
Whether people saw it or not, whether those shoot days are priceless. Like we would just have so much fun making comedy go.
Whatever it was released or not.
Because niggas sometimes you shoot a lot of shit that is never shit that fall apart.
That shit ain't coming out.
Somebody lose the footage. Somebody just I want to get too into that, but like
it hurts. It hurts.
It definitely hurt. But you was Smokey doing Smokey's room, so you was in Harlem. You seen all the cats you grew up watching.
Yeah, Harlem.
Yeah,
and I just saw people I grew up on, killing. And I was like, yo, I had to ask myself. And every time Smokey would do so, he'd go outside and smoke. And like the comics went outside, and there was Follow Smokey. He was just so dope. And I was like, yo, why y'all niggas don't got your own shows?
As far as like
why y'all not like
on TV, writing like
TV,
like a sitcom
thing. Like y'all are crushing 100,000 people spots
a year. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And he was like, the game is just crazy. And I was like, I had to really ask myself, why is the game crazy? That's all he told me. No disrespect to nobody there.
Right.
But I was like, why? And I was like, oh, you gotta find. I had to find out why.
Okay.
And then when I started researching LA,
So tell me when you started doing detective work on why the game is crazy.
you know what? When I saw, I'm keeping 100. When I saw white comics had an easier time in improv.
Okay.
Because improv was a tool to show how creative you could be on the fly that will transfer into writing.
Okay.
Right? A lot like I don't think people of color in stand-up
Right.
don't have the opportunity as what white people have in sketch and improv.
Okay. Okay.
Like, it's just a crazy through line. Like, you said it early on, like, if we're both doing stand-up, it feel like it can only be one at the time who's really on.
Right.
Improv and sketch, they got a thing called a Rat Pack, bro.
Yeah.
And they're all working, bro. Like, there's nobody competing against each other.
Right. It's
like, I'm gonna direct this one, you this one, and then vice versa, and then we gonna put so and so and so and so and so.
Right.
And you're working, bro. At the end of the day, it's about work.
With stand-up, it's like the one kind of has to start getting the buzz, the sitcom or offer the whatever, casting his first couple of movies. Then he's got to climb with having killer specials. Then he's got to become a lead person. Then after he's unled and been successful for a couple of films, then he might have the chance to finally put some of his other people on. Like that, and that's only one at a time because of as a stand-up, it's a solo sport.
Yeah.
So
but improv,
when you do an improv, you're with a groups of people.
It's three of us, a 3-man team. Right. Yo, and the thing about LA is so dope, or New York, UCB and all those spots, you could have a guy who's an intern at CAA. Yo, all three y'all killed. Because if you killed, we had to support you.
Right.
In that set.
Right.
But we all look good in it. Mm-hmm. Oh, you guys are great. Yeah. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you saw that just how like in terms of like you just sometimes you just play math with it. Sometimes it just comes down to like math and probability. You take out emotion, you take out love, you take out talent. I have a better chance of being successful if I do the forms of comedy where it's a contingent on groups. As opposed to just doing the solo sport, which is stand-up. And you just naturally you gravitated because you're a team guy. You like working with people.
And it was more fun too.
And it was more fun for you. For you personally.
For me.
And that, like I said, that's what it's about. Is you've got to find the truth about what you love personally.
And the comics who I love, like you, like when I see you at your shows, I know you love it. Like I came to a show you hosted like 2 months ago. I know you host many more, but that's when I saw you when you host. Like you hosted between sets and you had your set. Right. I saw the light you had in your eyes that you loved it. Yeah. And the niggas that you were hosting for loved it too. Right. So the whole room was love. Comics who love what they do. Yeah. Versus like, yo, here's a kid like me who getting some laughs. All right, guys, thank you. Right. Man, it's 12 o'clock. I should be home tired. Right. Improv, I could do that 24 hours and not get paid.
There's a thing you could just you feel it in you. It's just like I could never stop doing shit like this.
I could be dry and make everybody seem funny. Or I could take the light too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then go write it after, and then probably go pitch it. Right. I just enjoy it.
You get and that's what it comes to. Like I since I've been out here, I haven't been doing stand up as much, even though that still remains the first love in terms of like what I enjoy doing. Like you said, you still see it in my eyes when I'm performing and how I light up. But I have gravitated into getting more busy with sketch and improv with Cornbread, and I love it too, dog. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like there is a thing about that where I've come to appreciate that, working with people, not being such a person that's in my head all the time. Like I'm really bouncing off of folks. It's shown me another side, and like part of the reason why I'm not to say I'm taking a break because I'm still performing stand up when I can, but I maybe just don't pursue the shows as much.
Of course.
Because I really when I decided to move to LA. It's crazy because even though our dreams are to work in Hollywood and be successful and tour and do whatever at our leisure, I felt somewhat empty as a person in New York. I felt like I was living a routine where I was just and and it's only because too I in my situation I had the luxury of I was living with my grandmother. I didn't pay rent, so I was essentially a kid getting to do stand up. You know what I'm saying? I just got to go hit the city. Do mad shows every night, hang out with friends, drink, girls, if I got lucky, wake up late, fuck around on Facebook, tweet, do whatever, post on Instagram, try to get more shows, go out every night. Like that was just a cycle, 6-7 years straight. And granted, I've had great experiences. I've got to perform with some of the best comedians that's ever done it, talk to them. I got to tour. I got to do shows on the road. Book a couple. I wasn't not doing shit. I was doing stuff, but just as a person, it's just like I really hadn't lived life. Like I hadn't had a. Not to say the job makes you a person, but like I didn't have to work. I didn't have responsibility. Right. I didn't have a pressure of providing. So those things I felt like I was lacking. And then I felt like this was starting to affect my comedy. Like I got a little stale. Like even though I had a set, I had material, I still felt like I hadn't unlocked another level in my stuff because I was still on the surface a shallow person.
Yeah.
And so that coincided. Maybe even a bigger reason why I moved to LA, because I said, okay, where could I still move but chase the career that I want and build a life that I want? If I can't do it in New York, you got to go to LA. LA is where all the stuff that I want to do is still available to me, but I'll have to grow up because I have no more cushion. I'm, or definitely nowhere near the same cushion as before. Like, I'm saying? I got to grow up. I got to, take care of rent. I got to learn how to be responsible, manage finances.
You got to level up,
I got to level up. And then the break from stand-up with doing all this other comedy has also made me a better comedian, in my opinion, because now I've learned all these other forms of thinking of how to create stuff. So
and now you can unlock.
I can unlock more shit.
The shit that might not be accepted kind of in stand-up, and now you can find a way for it to be accepted because now you're developing this like
my voice.
Like for me, I love Family Guy.
You love Family Guy, okay?
Because
definitely one of the top anime
it's funny,
shows.
but their cutaways, it's like what my mind is always on. My mind is always in the cutaway, like if I did a sketch just in animal suits, like a Care Bear sketch show,
like, why the fuck not?
But I want to test it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I want to test it. Like it's crazy, right? Does your elders know about Key and Peele?
That's funny because I made my grandmother watch a lot of the shit that I was into just cause.
Right.
So she wouldn't know if you tossed the name out, but if I was like, hey grandma, remember these two guys I was showing you videos of? Right. She was like, oh yeah, because I made her watch some Key and Peele sketches. And
but she'll probably know. She'll probably know like the legends of stand up more.
Yeah,
quicker,
yeah, for sure.
I think that gotta change.
You feel like improv need to get more into the limelight.
Just the alternative comedy.
The alternative scene, okay.
And don't get me wrong, there's some weird shit. Like
there's some stuff.
I'd be like, whoa, like
it's not improv that you can't really stomach. But
it's not even comedy no more. It's just like abstract.
Well, and I've learned too, like, it's just look, man, there's bad comedy in every genre.
Of course.
Every,
you gotta,
improv, sketch, stand up. There's bad comedians, and when it's really great and good and done at a high level, it's like the most beautiful thing in the world. But when it's horrible and it's trash, it just feels like, what the fuck is this? This is the longest piece of...
But you got to go through it, though.
But you got to sit through it. You got to sit through it. Sometimes you are it. Sometimes you are bad before you become good.
And you got to invest in it, too.
And you got to invest time.
You know how many pilots I shot?
Right.
That's great. And then I think it's great and it's terrible. But then you find a piece in it. And you're like, oh, that's the funny.
Yeah.
But now I know, like, oh... That's all fluff.
This can go somewhere else.
This is really the funny.
Yeah,
let me chase that funny.
This is the shit you was digging when you was looking for the gold.
But I put all the bullshit around it to make it look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. That's that's real talk. So you realize, shit. All right, I'm at this stage in my life where I know comedy, acting, that's my path. The comedy that I really love to perform is this improv thing, the sketch thing. So what decided, okay, I'm going to just leave to New York and go for LA? Like, wherever you were in your career at the time, what made you just say to jump? Because some people, like, I left before you, quote unquote, say somebody should go because I didn't have a buzz, I didn't have industry heat, none of that shit. I just decided personally it was ready for me to go. Comedy. So you was hustling.
I was still hustling while doing comedy. And I was like, I was still hustling while I was doing comedy, and I was making really good money hustling. Mm-hmm. This is real shit.
Comfortable.
Not even comfortable. You see a lane. I'm not talking about drugs at all. I just found my own lane hustling.
Creating like work.
Yeah, and it might have been the most legit way, but I found a way where I wasn't hurting everybody, but still able to hustle. And I saw if I went deeper, yes, I'll make even more money. Mm-hmm. But when you're an artist, it's always this little blinking light like, yo.
Yeah, this is what you really want to do though.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'd rather just cold turkey and just bounce. I literally left like 5 days before I bounced. Like Jay was like, yo, I'm moving to LA, Jay Alexander. I was like, nigga, I'm making like $2,000 a day, bro, just doing this little bullshit shit. Every
first
day.
of all, let's get twisted. Let's get twisted. $2,000 a day, I think, is great anywhere in the world, but when you kicking like that in New York City,
yeah, and
it's fun,
and it was so crazy.
It's fun.
I made sure I always remind myself of American Gangster at that time. Never get a fur coat. So if you saw me, like, oh, Dio's bumming it. Yeah.
You took that Frank Lucas shit to heart because once he had the fur coat and walked down in the boxing match, the cops started looking at him different.
It's like in New York, like you see in New York,
Yeah,
like
you start shining too much on the block, niggas is still like, oh, okay.
you know who got some of the most money, like a lot of money in New York?
Not the name drop, but he name dropping. Yeah.
The dude who's the guys. The guys or the women who sell the DVDs on the street.
The guys of the women.
Like the Africans or whoever they are. So I don't want to put a nationality or whatever.
Right.
The people who open up the
display.
The display would have all the bootleg DVDs.
Hold on. Which part of New York City though?
Queens, Brooklyn, whatever.
Really?
They make bread, bro.
They make bread.
My mentor was that guy.
You know how the numbers work.
My mentor was that. Yeah.
You know how
my
math
mentor
work.
was that guy, and he had a 9 to 5. He made more money doing that than his 9 to 5 that paid him with. He
kept it for the benefits?
Yeah, for the benefits. He's like, I'll never leave this. I got benefits for me and my kids. But this, I was helping him count his money. Like, yo, then he showed me my game. Then I found my lane in his game.
Right. So he would do 9 to 5 and then work on weekends? Or
I think, no lie, he bought his house cash.
What?
Off of bootleg DVDs, bro.
And he would just, how much time would he spend doing the selling DVDs?
Only on the weekends, bro.
Oh, so he just hustled. So he works 7 days a week. He don't take breaks.
And then he masterminded. He found other dudes or women that want to do the same shit. He's like, all right, I will stop selling DVDs, but I'll give you.
I'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah. So now just buy the DVDs off of me. So he had like 20 niggas coming to him for DVDs every weekend, like as a business, bro. So like he had a whole brochure, like yo.
So the DVD pyramid scheme.
Son.
But he got to get comfortable, and he kept the 9 to 5 though.
Kept 9 to 5, bro. But you never know. He's like, never buy the shit that's gonna attract attention to you.
Wow.
So we wasn't hurt nobody. Of course, it's like Hollywood, but whatever. But yo, son, like
it was a good life. Life was good.
So I had to leave. I like, like
you can't because if you stay in New York, what you're gonna do is maybe say like, all right, I'll fall back a little bit and I'm gonna chase this. But then when the comedy shit is giving you some rough patches, you're like, oh, I could just go back to hustling.
Yeah.
And I believe in the Eddie has talked about it in interviews, and Keenan Ivy Wayans too. The plan
Love
A
him.
is to chase it. No backup plan, because the backup plan is planning to fail.
Yeah.
If you try to say, well, I'm gonna get this just in case it don't work out, then you're already saying to yourself you don't think it's gonna work out. So you just have to believe.
You got bounce.
Yeah, I was the same way. I never believed in a backup plan. I think education might be different. I don't knock it, but I just felt like with me, I never had the passion for school. Yeah. So I knew staying in was just always gonna kill me anyway, and I didn't want to be in debt for something that I didn't care for.
Right.
So I never. Luckily, I won't like be coming up in this game with student loans to pay back. Like because I did a couple years community college, and then I just chased the comedy.
But
and
you hopped in it though.
I dipped in. I didn't look back because I watched so many interviews with all the people who I admire or was told you check what they got to say out, and they all just had the same kind of way in talking about it. And I was just like, there's no way I could half-ass this on any level.
You know what I love what you're saying right now? You found the common thread between all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's like the key.
Yeah.
Like when you find a common thread, like my common thread right now is just figure it out. Like I watched an interview with Will Smith the other day and Childish Gambino, and they said this, and other people said the same thing too, but I'm gonna use them as an example. They both said they're at the top of the game. Will Smith said, I'm at the top of the game, right? I'm in rooms with the 1%, and none of them know what they're doing. They're all trying to figure it out still. Donald Glover said, I don't take advice no more, because everyone's trying to figure it out. They said the same exact shit. Just figure it out. That's why, like, there's no really, like, there's no real blueprint. Like, you have like I could steal some stuff, but there's no real defined
I can
A, B,
use some
C,
examples.
D. Right.
You do have to have some luck.
Of course.
I believe how you treat people can play a part. Relationships. Some people don't want to be networking, politicky, but there is a certain level of a rapport you need to have. And then like the hard work, put the work in, and the talent, and how do you take this? Do you feel like you have a singular mind, like a locked in tunnel vision kind of thing, or do you feel like I'm capable to put my energies in different arenas? Because some people believe in the jack of all trades, some people believe just let one.
I'm Jamaican,
do
so
one thing hard.
I used to be that way.
Right. You got that in the blood.
Yeah, but you only see shit develop only 25%. So like I give you an example, right? I won't say what it is, but last year I made a goal to hit a certain amount of like. Book gigs, right? Like
I remember, I saw your vision board when I was.
So my vision board, right?
To your crib at the back.
Everyone comes.
I got inspired from that.
And everyone's like, "No way!"
Yeah,
like there's no way you're hitting that many. And the guy hit that shit.
Wow.
But I did everything in my power. I watched, other people who did something close to that. I was like, okay, if that person did it,
Yeah.
I could do more. How can I do it? I studied it. Like I went past it. I emailed people. I was like, I took classes on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I coached people on it. Like
Right.
I did it in my room when no one was watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted it that bad. But then like, yes, other things fell to the wayside.
Right.
And then I picked it back up once I hit that goal.
Right.
Or you have a good team.
Which is what something
Which I love about you in Cornbread Kitchen.
Yeah.
Reek and all that. Brother Reek, what's up?
Brother Reek, shout outs to Tariq. The team thing. I gotta say, I think that's sometimes what makes me like feel like, man, how come I don't? When I was a stand-up, I was really all about the solo jugular thing, and my stance has sort of changed on it as I've gotten older. And I do realize at some point you will need help in some sort of fashion. And
don't be scared to ask.
And don't be scared to ask either. But I do believe that us coming together and really like creating the kind of shit we do, and we feel like we have so much more potential to do more. And now it's like, how could you really want to walk away? Because then it's like, it feels like a waste if we don't get to the ultimate goal. Like if we all have agreed on, we're on the same like level of thinking, like, yeah, we could maybe take this to TV or take this on the road and be a touring act. So even though we're at a stage now where we don't got that many eyes on us, but we got a couple eyes and we're building our show at UCB or whatever.
That's a perfect space.
You can't walk away from that. Like at this point, you can't walk away. We have to commit. Like we've done too many shows in the bag
because blueprints of it. Like you've seen White Women,
right?
Improv team of all black males,
right?
You've seen Obama's Other Daughters,
right?
They just stuck with it.
You gotta stay together.
Yo, look at Donald Glover.
Yeah.
What was the name of his show before?
Reek knows it. I didn't pay attention because I'm still learning about improv.
Donald Glover was a 3-man improv sketch.
Yeah.
And they stuck with it for like 3-4 years.
And they used to do like little movies together. Like Reek showed me like an early movie that they did. It was trash, but it was. But you can see some of the humor that's there.
But they did sketches.
Got bread for it, though.
And they did cage matches.
Yeah.
This is Donald Glover before Childish Gambino.
Before 30, before what Community, all that shit.
Before all that, bro.
He just was doing the simple improv.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a little tiny space for like 40, 50 people.
But they stick it up. And like,
once a week.
We spoke about it. Every group has their fights.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. Like when we're talking about like dealing with other creatives,
egos,
how to avoid personal versus just what this is. I'm just trying to get to the ultimate goal, which is this funny? But then there's views on men and women. If you have that thing in your group. Being offensive, finding the line. Some people who feel like they want to massage some things. Some people feel like you gotta present it as is. In my opinion, I feel like if you do a comedy show and you don't offend at least one person, you're not doing comedy.
Sure, and you're very good at that.
Yeah,
and niggas very good.
Find
at
the line and think. I appreciate that.
Nigga throwing them grenades and
Yeah.
Look out below.
Look out below. I've got. I mean,
nigga be throwing them bombs in there, bro.
And I really try to be sensitive to people's feelings because I do care. I'm not dismissive. But I am very.
Don't apologize, man.
No. I'm just trying to say because I work to find a line with them myself because now I have a girlfriend. I have a situation where
you're evolving.
What I do see, I'm evolving, and what I do say, sometimes a hard truth or whatever like that. You can't tell people how they're supposed to feel. Like I do have to learn in that in communication. Yeah, I do feel this way about comedy, but I don't got to make you feel like this way because I feel this way about comedy.
Right.
And those are the fine lines. You got to.
I love the fine line you're playing because you're still. Yeah. But I give you an example, right? Yeah. Your fine line is kind of dope. Like we're all fans of the '90s comedy and sitcoms.
We love that. We won't let black people won't let.
We
90s,
won't let it go.
90s comedy go.
Why? Actually, why? Why do you think that?
Because it was just. I think it was just great to just see all that talent on your TV tube. You love that some of them got to just be as physical and as crazy as they wanted to be. Some got to have the real conscious and message stuff. Yep. The way they dressed was just super fly. The look was fly. The feel, you just remember laughing hysterically.
And people really laughed.
And people really laughed to that shit. Like niggas got together at the crib to watch it together, like as a family. Like it kept us in the house together.
Because
for 30 minutes or whatever it was.
It was raw.
It was raw.
Like those times we didn't really have all that stuff to do. So like whenever you saw a person of color on TV, they were active, they were physical, and they were like, yo, fuck it, that's all I got. I'm swinging. Now you watch a show now, let's be honest, let's be honest. When's the last time you laughed? Not LOL, not that's cute, great premise, when you really fucking laugh.
I can see why that's funny,
Yeah, like, like, I don't see it.
Okay. Well, are we talking about just shows overall or black shows? We'll just focus on
Atlanta
our shows.
Probably the only show I see laugh.
Atlanta did make me laugh out loud. I won't say because obviously single camera comedy is different than multi-camera. The pace in which you're getting the jokes are different. So only comedy people can understand that than the average person. So Atlanta, there are scenes where they're like acting with each other. Then there's gonna be a moment in the show where there's gonna be a scene that makes you laugh. Of course. And when that scene comes, that laugh is pretty hard. Like or the reoccurring thing makes you laugh. Like the nigga Robert Powell who was in the barbershop.
Right.
Who was following, who had this, and he was just doing funny shit throughout the whole episode. But Donald was just acting off of him. Yeah. But he was funny. You know what I'm saying? But then there's like the episode when they're in the club though, and all the shit that happens in the club, like the nigga who don't pay and go behind the wall. Like it was just like scary. I laugh at Insecure. There have been things in Insecure that make me laugh, but like in single camera situational stuff, it's always gonna be different because it's not the same. Like the way Martin operates and Jamie Foxx show at Fresh Prince, you laugh. Like, you know, you just could count on Martin for doing something. Yeah. You know, at least 3 times an episode.
They weren't restricted.
They weren't restricted, or if they were, they fought through that shit so hard that there was so many, you know, grievances met. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know.
So it's interesting comedy like 90s compared to the now. There are some shows that I watch and it's just like,
if you could be a comic,
I like it. I like it.
90s, which one would you pick? The 90s or now? Which one would you pick? No filter either.
What do you mean, like a stand-up having my comedy career, comedic acting, like all that stuff, the Hollywood game? Like, what lane am I pitching?
If you had the freedom that the 90s had to be a comic versus now, which one would you pick to be a comic in?
You know what? It's a weird question. Okay. I would choose to be the comic on the Fox network because when Fox was coming up,
brand new.
It was brand new. So they had the chains off. So Martin got to go do whatever and live in color. All that shit hadn't set in yet, so they didn't really get the chance to put the shackles on a comedian's ability and what they were creating.
They didn't know what the culture was yet. So
on the WB, a lot of people say the WB ain't paid,
but the
niggas got the creative freedom. Right? Like with Sean and Marlon, they talk about that a lot. They said they got to do whatever they want on that show. Even though they didn't make great money. You know, they made money, but they they wasn't making millions and millions like Seinfeld and nothing like that. But the shit that we got to see the Wayans brothers do, come on, like I can still laugh at the Wayans brothers right now to this day. And
shout out to Marlon, man.
When you go to UPN is a little tricky because they had a lot of black shows, but when I've listened to like Eddie Griffin talk about his time working on Malcolm and Eddie, they said that there was a lot of white people in the room trying to tell them what they thought black was funny. So there was some of those battles they fought. I don't remember how many people love Malcolm and Eddie.
I see where you're going.
But some of the UPN shows had those discrepancies because those were like the writers' room was very white. You know, maybe only 1 or 2 black people. Eddie Griffin, obviously, he was the comic that the show's about, so he had to kind of like work back and forth, and it was a lot more stressful for him.
You're like, damn, so, like, it's a show about a black person.
And only because we're 2 comedians, and I want to give my listeners insight on shit. Sometimes it depends on the network.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It does.
The network, you know, what we do like now is that look how many fucking outlets. We don't have to depend on network TV no more to get that shot. We can go to HBO, we can go to FX, we can go to Showtime, we can go to Stars.
Snapchat now.
We can go to Snapchat if we wanted to create some shit. But I still want the 90s because I just like the 90s of you're on the network TV. A lot of the people are seeing you. You are a face of a lot of things. And if regardless of nothing else, you still can hang on to that shit.
True.
Like you do something now, I don't know if you still get that same level. Like even if fucking 20 years go by, I don't know if you'll be able to eat off something you do.
Nah.
Well, you know what I mean? It's weird. Like and I'm talking about how the stand-up, the comic is. Like actors are fine because actors will get another job, they'll move on around. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like when you like a bruh man, Reginald Ballard,
wow,
he still does stand-up. And the nigga still will keep a little part of his set that's Brother Man from the 5th Floor.
Yeah.
He's done some other stuff since Martin. Like it wasn't like he never did anything else after Martin. But niggas will always know Brother Man.
Bro, man.
And he probably, if you check out his IMDb, like real actor shit, he probably was only on Martin like maybe like 15 times throughout the run.
Wow.
But because every time he was on it, it was such a fucking thing. Yeah. But nigga, 15 times, it ain't that much.
Right.
You know, if we talking about like that the
numbers we thinking like, right.
Tracy Morgan as Hustleman? Hustleman was only on the show maybe like 8 to 10 times tops.
Yeah, tops.
But that was
you gotta milk that bitch though.
But he milked the shit out of that. And that parlayed other shit.
What's up, Chief?
What's up, Chief? You know, I got biscuits, gravy, bean pie, you know, whatever.
I love those guys.
It's such a fascinating thing to explore, you know what I'm saying? So okay, I want to kind of jump back in. So you start to kind of like in LA for a couple years. You're knocking down some goals. You know, I want to build myself up in this aspect. You know, you've booked some commercials, some really cool commercial campaigns.
Thank you.
You've had some credited works as an actor.
Thank you.
But you still love comedy, and you're still trying to find your niche. And you
love comedy, bro.
You had a group situation. I've had the pleasure of interviewing some of the people from the
Shout
group.
out to former members of A50 FICO.
A50 FICO, very talented group. Kalila, Kendra, Dejani, Allende. All of you guys are really good individuals.
Old members, Casey Campbell, what's up?
So do you think there's a chance where you guys can get back together, or you guys? And I know, like, what I like to Dior is like you're not gonna always out anything outright, and obviously too you want to protect your team business because those are all personal things, stuff that you just can't really account for. But I know you guys are not active as of now.
I mean, first of all, we all love each other.
But there's still love.
Yeah, of course, we all hang out. You know what I mean? We were just eating vegan food together.
That's what's up.
I don't think we would get back together.
It's just real.
I think it might have formed to something else. Like, I'm keeping it 100 with you. Like, when you're in a group situation, there's a lot of energy that's needed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody kind of wants to be the person. Everybody wants to be in the front.
Yeah.
Right? But when you find people that don't want to be in the front, they just want to do the work, doesn't mean they want to hide either. They just want to just do the work and just get on.
Right.
Like, you might have a person who's the most funniest person.
Yeah.
But they're really good. Like, they're a really great writer.
Right.
Yo, I just love writing.
I should bring this shit out.
I want to form a new team. Like, I got a team right now that I'm trying to form to be even more diverse. It's more like really, really, really just a great team.
Yeah.
Patent already. The name's Patent, so don't try to steal it. Gentrified Ghetto.
Right. That's what's up. I like the name. I told you that when you told me about that. I was like, that's just fun.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to show. I just want to I want to go there. Like, I ain't pulling no punches back. Like, I want to see if I can make people really laugh. Not saying that's cute or just laugh.
Like
but it's tough though because it's so.
In improv or in sketch? Or you guys gonna do both?
Both.
You guys gonna do both?
I want to tour it.
Right. You want to build that up into
I want
a
to tour it.
thing.
I want to infuse it. You know what I'm saying? Because look, keep it 100 with you. Somebody told me this shit and it was crazy. They was like, you could be a working actor right now, a working entertainer, and no one knows your name.
Yeah.
We used to be getting paid and be on shit.
Yeah.
Because he said there's so many platforms now
that
that's the guy. I don't remember where, but that's the girl. That's the person. I don't know, but I know I've seen him around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like the people who are winning, bro, they creating shows, bro, and they're in it, and they're hooking your boy up with a show, and your other person with a show,
and you know who they are.
Right. But yo, we all have the opportunity now.
Yeah, we do.
Side note, I just want to do this so bad. You ever watch those radio shows? Niggas is always fixing the mic.
Go ahead.
So Birdman was like, like nigga, what? The mic is perfect already.
Why are you moving it?
Nigga, you 5'5". Yeah.
We got this. So you can cut that part, clip that part, and then post that when you adjust the mic.
You 5'5". Why you moving the mic? Nah, man. Yeah. So what's your goal for you in LA?
It's a multi-layered goal. Ideally, when I envision how Nick Alexander gets to have his career, I'm working in Hollywood as an actor, whether I'm filming on a TV show or working on a movie. I can tour on the road on weekends and headline.
So you want to hold on to comedy?
Of course.
Stand up?
I'm never letting that go. Always. If I can have the flexibility to do stand up as much time as I need to.
Smart move.
You know what I'm saying? But ideally, I think, if you're working all day, you don't really want to get up at night because it's a mental drain. So if I'm working on a show, right, I want to tour on the weekend. So I want to do my Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe 2 weekends out of the month. 2 weekends I'm home. So I could chill with whoever. If I'm not filming, I want to still get it in, stand up in the clubs at night, hit like I will.
Working out,
or performing with my group, and have
Cornbread Kitchen.
Maybe like 2-3 months out of the year, the group gets to get together and just hit shows together. So we do our
run.
Out of the year? Yeah, like 2-3 months. We don't gotta do.
Oh, this is when you popping though.
When you said when my goal. So because I've embraced that I want cornbread to be something that I always get to do.
Nice.
So that's always gonna be there. So I figure like there's 2-3 months out of the year where cornbread just gets to hit the road every weekend and rock out.
Like the Tina Fey's how they do their shit.
Yeah. Then throughout maybe like another 35 weeks. If I'm saying 2 weekends out of the month, so 25 plus weekends of stand up.
Wow, that's dope.
And then I'm filming and doing what's required or needed of me when I'm filming on something or working on something. So like that's, and then the other time is a lot for vacations, for whether I'm with myself or with family or with my significant other.
That's a question.
So that's
a real question
that's
for
what
all comics.
What's up?
You're funny dude, amazing, all that. if there was a hotter comic
Right.
than you, and you know he or she's hotter
In terms of like looks or like in terms of heat, like industry heat or like funny?
heat.
Like they buzzing right now. They
heat,
got
or you think that he or she has just like
they got it.
that shit.
They got it.
Right?
Yeah.
And that person says, yo, Nick, like, look, I love what you be doing. I love it. But yo, fall back and just be my writer. I make sure we eat forever.
I'll never. What do you mean? What could I not do? What would I not do going forward?
Like you can still do stand up.
Right, of course, because you can. You can
You
always do
still stand up. You still stand up, but like, yo, just really focus writing with me right now.
And like be on the team, like just tour with
Push
him.
me.
Right.
Push me right now.
Yeah. And he's hot. Like
He or she's hot.
he or she's hot, and they're about to
He,
like.
she, her, them is
They
hot.
got the theater dates and everything.
What's that?
Right.
Yeah. So he, she is hot.
So like I'm going on the road with them and just helping they shit up.
that. Yeah. You still open whatever like that, but like
Yeah.
that person just like yo, just help me
Build
push.
it.
I'm getting that wave right now. You pay everything. Yeah, all that shit come with it. And I asked that because sometimes I see comics, not just stand up, but just in general, it's hard to let go of like,
Yeah.
yo, the light. I'm gonna get
That
that
you
light.
feel that I'm gonna be the star.
Yeah. It's I see it's hard.
It is hard because everybody in their mind thinks that they can one day be a star touring headliner of
Everyone
some sorts.
can, but it's you know
It's
what I'm
different.
saying?
No. They are. There's tiers. There's always
tiers.
gonna be tiers. Just like the way in the NBA it is. There's your
tiers.
superstars. He could be the best player on the championship team. Like this is the way I break it down because I studied the NBA so hard
Hey.
now. This guy,
I seen
when you
you play,
project, when you project in
you
the
play.
draft, because I hope the Knicks get Zion.
Yeah.
This guy can one day be the best player on the championship team. This guy's a superstar, but he can't carry the squad. He needs to be the number 2
Yeah.
for it to be effective. This guy can't be number 1 or 2. He's a number 3. He's a role player. He's a rotation guy. You know what I'm saying? He's good if he has talent that can shoot and he can worry about other stuff. He's the facilitator. He needs guys that can score. So once you learn what you are and what you can't be, then I think it's easier to make a decision like that. So I feel like with myself, if one of my friends who might have been buzzing, like, and I think only a short list of people who I could say I would do that for. Could I just work on and help build their shit and not really worried if I'm getting like love if I'm not the face on everything? I think I could.
Dope.
I think
And
I
that's-
could. But like I said, very small.
It's very
list
small, of course.
people. Like I think if the random superstar just asked me to just come on a board with them and just give me the
Yeah, because you know that could
give me the 5 star, that could
can
end
be
in any
flaky,
second.
of course,
That could be like the funnest 6 months and then be done.
We've all seen that.
We've
before.
all seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas get a chance, you get to go on the road and tour, and then it just, it comes to an end, you go on a break and they get involved and busy with something else or whatever. But if it's one of my real friends who I started out with, like and I'll give them the names, like if I think of Matt Richards or my boy Nico.
Shout out to Matt, man. Matt, you grinding, bro.
You know what I'm saying? If they asked me to just kind of like help build their shit up, I think I could. And I don't think I have any regrets because I'm around people who are doing the best shit.
I think you're smart for that. Like you use a basketball analogy.
Yeah.
Like what's the brother name who was on the Lakers? Now he was a coach. Now he was a comment, and then he was like the face of like the union for the NBA.
Fisher. Yeah.
Like that's an amazing career.
Yeah.
Like from a player to a union guy. Like he just understood. I don't gotta be Kobe.
Yeah.
I just gotta be in the game.
I put in the work. I could be in the game.
I'm in the game, but he's in the game all around, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm just keeping 100. That's winning to me. That's just winning.
Yeah. No, I think, like I said,
It's like that one nigga who's on all of Adam Sandler's movies.
Schneider. Yeah. And he got his own movies. He got a chance to do his own movies. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a touring stand-up now. People know he puts out specials. So it's like, you're not Adam Sandler who's probably generated billions of dollars of box office. Rob Schneider might have a couple 100 million. But Rob Schneider has lived a great career, lived a great life. From our eyes, from our perspective.
Your whole family career.
So could I be a Rob Schneider to an Adam Sandler? Yes, I could.
Great,
I would not think twice about it.
There we go.
It's like, I'll totally take Rob Schneider's career. I have no problem.
Yeah.
I would who else? If we're talking about like a number 2 person to it, whatever.
Look at all LeBron's.
Give me some of the number 2s in comedy. You tell me if I would say yes to that.
If you take the number 2, okay, Chinadu.
Chinadu, I can't say Chinadu because his book is not written. His book is not written yet.
Okay.
Because you never know.
Like
you know what I'm
high.
saying?
Okay.
People who are like in their 50s now, who had their run. Like you've seen what they've become.
You be number 2 to them?
just essentially when you see the career arc, you see what this guy was and who his right hand man was, who's on his projects with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
like their careers are not done, but they're essentially like their legacy acts from there. Like Schneider, you know, he had his 90s, so you know what they've been. So I would say, would you want that? Would you want that? Like
I don't know any more examples really.
You only got Schneider?
I wish there were more examples of that.
Unfortunately, it's a small. That's why I say it's a really small ratio of who
I give
makes
shout
it
out to
a David Spade. I would take a Spade. You know,
Spade. Wow,
I would take a JB Smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Love JB Smooth.
JB Smooth's created and worked with all these niggas who've been above him on some levels, but Smooth is now carved his own lane. Like, you never know when you might get it. That's the beauty of stand-up. Like, it wasn't until he was in his 40s where he got his shot, and this nigga was doing the chitlin circuit rooms back in the late. He put talent on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
JB put talent on stage. Mount Vernon, JB is the OG Mount Vernon nigga.
Wow.
You know, that's some black comedy history right there. Yeah. I gotta share.
Real black
JB
facts.
Smooth, he was probably the first dude, Mount Vernon, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And then to Def Jam, to Torn on the Road, Common View, you remember Smooth. He was always in little bit parts of Chris Rock movies and shows.
Yes.
And now it wasn't until his mid-40s he gets on Curb. Larry David, of all people, says, damn, this guy's fucking hysterical.
Got it.
Because JB did improv, too. Did you know that?
Larry David. Motherfucking Larry David.
Fucking Larry. God damn it.
I love.
This some crazy shit right there. You a crazy motherfucker.
You walk in that motherfucking room right now and you put his foot in his ass. Motherfucker, you hear me, David?
Put the toenails in that bitch.
Yeah. I want you walk in that motherfucker, take a nigga out, open it up, throw it on the ground, stomp on that bitch, and walk out.
Make sure you clip them shits, Larry.
Yeah.
Don't get on the dirty toenails. Yeah. He did improv too.
Really?
Yeah. When he used to do stand-up in the 90s, in the alt scene when it was coming up, he actually used to dabble in improv. So, because he always like talked about how he just always had like white mainstream counterparts. That's why he had like a little run on SNL. Like Neil Brennan, all them cats knew JB. Like, because he did the black shit, the blackest of the black shit. But then when he also divided his time and doing into these little these pits and these village rooms and shit like that, he actually he always had his two
I
blades
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
But yeah, JB Smooth, I would take a JB Smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, there's only like 5 people who get to do what Kev did, what Eddie did, Martin, Chris Rock, which is like to be an arena comic touring around the world, 20,000. Not you. It's 5.
I want to ask you a question about that. Both of you guys. What makes those comics get to that place? Like that's such a tough question.
But yeah,
but like,
I'll let Paul answer that first.
Is it all comedy? I think it has to do with business smarts too.
No, it's a mix of things.
But like,
ahead,
I want to hear from the comic, the funny point of view though. And I'm not hating on them. I'm like this. There's something like I don't know what it is.
Go ahead.
I mean, everybody just kind of has that killer instinct, you know. Not a lot of people. It's the perfect combination of not only being funny, but at a certain level, everybody's funny, you know.
Yeah,
that's
so you also have to have that entrepreneur aspect. You have to really be. You don't sell yourself short. A lot of people, you know, they go up for $20 on a spot, but there's some guys that just won't do that because they know their value, and that actually raises them up. Yeah, 100%.
My value's totally
I was
trash.
a terrible comic near getting $300 for the weekend. Out here, niggas gave me an $8 drink ticket.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It's horrible. I feel like such a whore, a dirty whore.
Right. Wow. Okay.
So that but it's also like perception. It's like, how do you build your image, you know? So if you could build your image around a certain thing and people, you're kind of, you know, showing that like now on social media, you know, when people hit you up, they're like, man, you're killing it. Even though if you don't feel like that, as long as your image feels like that, that's another thing that'll launch you up. Yeah.
Wow.
Here's what I think when you talk about like the elite of the elite, why they might be there, where they've starred in movies, they got to write and create shit, they headlined arenas and all that other stuff. They had such a fucking blind just confidence that a lot of people don't have. Like, if you ask like Talent and all those guys, they talk about how even when Kev was like 19, 20 years old, he had like all the confidence in the world as this little fucking happy, energetic, bouncy little nigga. When they talk about how Eddie was an 18, 19-year-old kid going to Manhattan and performing in front of like middle-aged white people, but with all the confidence in the fucking world.
Right.
And he had such a way about him. It made older guys used to look at him different. Like, man, who does this kid fucking think he is? But it wasn't. Some people found it pompous, but other people just was marveled at it. So like they marveled at how they were on stage. And now these are like prodigy kind of like the comics who start when they're like a teenagers going into. Dave Chappelle had the same kind of glow to him. Like even if he didn't kill all the time, just what he was always trying to talk about, what he was always trying to do.
Right.
He was just such a champion for his own point of view that it just made people marvel at that. And it you know, obviously there's movers and shakers that watch these guys. They decide to invest in them. And Kev obviously had a different path because Kev got the shot really early and it didn't really work out his way. Like his big sitcom got canceled. Like it got pulled from under his feet. But then he noticed when we talk about business, he learned from the Dane Cook formula because Dane Cook was one of the first people who built up their following through social media because Dane Cook used to really build his email list when he'd hit cities that he headline is. He built his email list and then did the MySpace and then he started to have like a list of in my cities, these are what's big. So Kev, he talked about it with Mark Maron. When he started touring doing the improv because he had a couple movies and the TV shows under his belt, so you get to headline the improv as a comic.
Yeah.
They were papering the room for Kev. Like he didn't sell tickets like that, right? So Kev decided I'm gonna really build this shit up from the stand-up because this is the one thing they can't take away from me. This is the one thing they can't pull from me. This is the one thing they can't tweak or tell me how to do this show or change my vision. Because he already had all this experiences at like 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
He already gone through the worst of the worst, like embarrassing on all fronts.
Right, all that, yeah.
So he's touring the road. He's building his act. Like I'm gonna really try and be a great comic. I'm not just focus on the Hollywood and let the fame get to me doing that work. So he's doing all this, and then he builds his list up. Then his act gets stronger. Then with the act getting stronger, his following gets stronger as well. Yeah, we about to wrap up. The following and the act is getting there. Now you're becoming a demand. Like people want to pay for this shit.
Wow.
Now I'm an act. When I come into town, people spending $5. Then they spend $10.
Right.
Then he was able to capture a moment on television.
Yeah.
Where he had one of the greatest sets ever, and then from there the rest was history.
That's it and gone.
So Dior, we gotta wrap it up. So I want you to just plug what you got going on coming up next. Where can they follow you?
Man, I'll be honest with you, bro. I took a step back just to like do more work right now. Like I'm writing right now hard. I want to tour in the summertime. I want to tour 90 sitcom live on stage.
Right.
New versions of the sitcoms that we grew up on. And you know, I can't say their names right now, but the 90s that we grew up on. I'm doing a new version of those shows in Hollywood and around like the LA Central area, which we did last year. People have requested it again.
Yeah.
Got some new commercials coming out. I got 2 movies coming out in the theaters.
Congrats.
The Obituary of Tunde Johnson, and one I can't say because they won't let me say it.
All right.
And
Where can they follow you?
yes, actor Dior Allen and Gentrified Ghetto on Instagram.
Okay, keep a look for that, man. Please follow us at For the Culture Live.